Hello everyone, myself Ishika Singh, your host for today. I welcome you all to another enticing episode of Saturday Suspense brought to you by Life Talks ISM. This is the first episode of our series, Know Your Seniors, because Alma does matter. Our guest for today is Mr. Shubham Tulsyan, who is a notable alumnus of IIT ISM. He started working as a mining engineer, but now what he works on will surprise and inspire you. He's the owner of a fashion discovery and shopping platform, but it's not any generic firm. So his platform uses tech extensively, as we'll see. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Hello, hi Ishika, hi everyone. Glad to be here, and I specifically don't know what to say on the notable part. Almost everyone that who has passed out of ISM is a notable alumni, but yes, that is too big a word to carry on your shoulders.
So,
Yeah.
so without further ado, let's begin with the questionnaire. Is that fine by you?
Yes, perfectly fine.
Okay. So my first question to you is did you always have an idea of a startup at the back of your mind, or were you just looking to complete your engineering and find a good, stable job in the core sector?
So when I was in college, things were very different for us. Specifically, if you come for a branch like mining engineering from ISM Dhanbad. Thing was you don't have to study much. You'll finally get a placement and you'll pass out. Things got really weird for us because when we reached our final years, there was some guy in South India who filed an RTI out there, and none of the PSUs came to our college. So almost half of the batch was left unemployed, or we looked into private sectors, and that is where my journey started. I was nowhere interested in working in mining, and fortunately I landed up with few of my seniors who had this startup called Flip to Know Technologies. So they gave me an opportunity to work with them, and that was the turning point of my career as a whole. Had great learnings working with them, still associated with them in some way, and that is what actually drove me ahead. Seeing them working as a team together, creating things, going out into the fields and building and creating stuff, that is what I realized was my forte too. So in the journey, I just realized that, okay, this is what I wanted to do.
Okay, so
It
when we
was
talk
an
about
accidental thing, and that is where it, it
so
all started.
accidentally you got to know about a thing that you really like to do.
Exactly,
So it's
exactly.
yes, it's very good. And when we talk about a startup, so we often hear there's a risk factor involved. So how did you overcome that fear? And what about the funds?
So, I've been inside mines for a very long time, and that fear part was almost gone. So, when you are 700 meters deep into underground, you realize that you cannot be afraid of anything out there. The risk factor is definitely there, but then after seeing all such things, there cannot be more rock bottom to hit, right? You're literally hitting rock bottom out there. And I always wanted to live a life without any regrets. So, but definitely there will be regrets because things you'll always keep on missing doing. And I thought that, okay, let's give a shot. And as soon as I started doing this, I actually realized that, okay, this is what my calling is. So there was no risk factor involved. And the other part I would like to say to the ISM student is, see, you guys belong to the premium or the elite college of India. You don't have to worry much about what happens if you fail. Be confident that even if you fail, you'll end up doing something that will always help you grow forward. So you've already crossed the Maslow's base pyramid. So yeah, that was never at the back of my mind. That even if I fail, I'll do something. I don't know what, but I'll do something. That was always there.
Okay, so the security kept you going. You
Yeah.
already knew. Yeah. Okay. So
So that is where it started. कुछ और कर लेंगे, ये करके देख लेते हैं. That is
yes.
exploration is something that actually drives us ahead. That you got to explore. And if there will be a fear in the back end that, okay, what if we fail? So, but what if we pass? That is the exact thing.
Okay, so that sentence, like, what if we pass, must have kept you going, like, yes.
Exactly.
And even in the startup, you chose the fashion industry. So starting up in the fashion industry, so is very unheard of, like for an engineer to do. So how were you so interested and like keen to dive deep into this?
While I was working with Flick to Know Technologies, I got a chance to work with few fashion brands into their B2B domain. So once I started working there, what I realized was this industry itself is too outdated. And there's no technology out there. Even if you see in terms of innovations coming out in this industry, what was the last innovation you heard of? Something online retailing that came 14 years back. 2007 Myntra started. 2011 Stitch Fix, something that started in the US. And it's been more than 10 years. There's no innovation out there in this industry, specifically in this industry. Everything else has been growing. Everywhere you have seen technological disruptions. So this industry itself is more retarded, and people see fashion mostly as arts, and it has very less science. But almost all the art form is also being defined by science now. Even if you talk about music or talk about any art form. So I thought, why not let's give it a shot and see if something we can create something out there. That is why.
Okay, so that
Uh,
was like a very well defined answer. I'm curious to know why the company of yours like has been named Yellowbacks.
it has a long and a very boring story behind it. When we first started thinking on doing something into the consumer domain in fashion, we were thinking of random names. So I, along with one of my co-founder Ankit and Piyush, we were just having a discussion. And last evening, I ended up seeing a Discovery episode on silverbacks and metalbacks kind of gorillas, and that is what anthropology told us. So we were discussing, acha, something we need to go back into times and think that angle. And then suddenly this thing came up. Okay, let's why not use the color yellow, because it's more monochromatic, and you can use it into various discussions. And then there's also a song by Coldplay. So let's just use yellow. And we were not very sure at that point of time. So what we actually thought was we'll keep two names handy. One was Yellowbacks and the other was Style Panda. So we'll do a pilot round and see if this thing is actually working. And if we do really bad, we'll dump this Yellowback thing and start something with Style Panda. But eventually we could not let go of that name, and that actually clicked with our audience, which we were trying to target. So we just
Okay.
stick with, and we also got a domain name with that. That was another problem. We didn't wanted to invest much in this part. So
Okay, so that was like very strategic, like without any reason, but strategic because like you didn't want to invest much into that domain. And the next question is like, what differentiates Yellowbacks from other online fashion ventures?
So, see, if you talk about other online fashion platforms or something, they're mostly product-based selling platforms. They're not selling fashion as a concept out there. So if you talk about any e-commerce player, any platform like Myntra, Jabong, Etsy, or anything, you look for a t-shirt, you look for a denim. You don't look for fashion out there. So this is what we wanted to actually change that. See, this is an outdated form. People need a more wholesome fashion experience now. And that is where we wanted to create a space out that selling fashion as a concept, not as a product out directly to the audience. So that is what we are trying to reinvent in this whole week, bringing out more fashion inspirations and fashion concept to the audience, and empowering the audience to actually find their own fashion sense and present themselves accordingly. So that is what we are trying to achieve with Yellowback. More of a community of people connected with fashion rather than just a product selling platform.
Yes, I did visit like the Yellowbacks site, and I realized that you were like selling the entire look from top to
So
bottom. With,
that is just start with. So we have also started collaborating with fashion leaders. to start sharing their fashion content over our platforms. And the next stage is we're planning to empower those designpreneurs and individual labels. So let's say, Ishika, you're a fashion designer and you have some thoughts out there in your mind. So with current technologies available, you can definitely get your thoughts manufactured. And we provide a audience out there for people, individual people out there to actually come and sell their fashion to the audience. So that is where we are trying to find a place in this whole segment.
Okay. And so when we have like got an idea about what Yellowbacks is all about, we read that you plan to create a style and inspiration driven fashion ecosystem with AI capabilities. So what is that you're trying to achieve with AI?
So actually, we started building this part itself. That is where we started with an AI-based styling tool. But then what we actually realized was audience was not that mature enough, and they wanted more options. Nobody wanted to skip their paradise of choice part, so they wanted more options. So we thought let's go back to the design part and start thinking from the beginning. What we're using AI as more of a personalization. Currently, we have a limited set of options which we are increasing every day. Imagine a future very ahead where we will be able to create a avatar of Ishika or that kind of thing where the system will know how well what is your dressing sense, what's your mood, what do you want to actually wear. We are using your browsing behavior to suggest outfits accordingly. So that is what we are using AI as a technology part to be more personalized, more close to the customer, as close as possible. So yeah,
That kind of personalization, like it will be on another level. Like,
there are platforms globally who have been doing this for a very long time. Still, they have their challenges of their own. Still not present in India, but yes, it is technologically possible, and we are trying to achieve the same part.
okay, so that was like really cool. And what are some of the problems that you faced while laying the foundation for Yellowbacks?
So the first problem is if you talk about this whole fashion part to most of the people, half of the people they don't understand it, and half of the people they are mostly tech geeks and they don't care about it. So they'll mostly appear in a gray t-shirt all their lives and they'll be happy about it. But then convincing people that fashion is all about future and it is really needed. It is more like space travel because it is not needed in a very clear way, but subconsciously it is needed for the society to move ahead. That was the tough part, convincing everyone around you that okay, I'm trying something in this space when the world is working on ed tech and world is working on creating different SaaS modules. So that was one problem. And then onboarding the tech team. So tech doesn't work like the way fashion team works. So I have a design team with me and I have a tech team with me, and the meetings where both of them are together working, that is the toughest part for me, to actually create a sync in between both of these thought processes. So
Yes,
that is one problem. And then, yeah, we see in terms of fashion, the country itself is too outdated. So that is another problem for us. Yeah.
and also like an engineering engineer grad, so
Uh,
who's like very interested in fashion. That is like it is.
and you're mostly frowned upon by people from other industries, from design or other colleges, that you don't understand these things. And I'm like, yes, I don't understand. That is why I'm here trying to understand more. And yes, that is one thing which we always face.
So like since it's a relatively new company, what are your current and future plans?
So our current plan is to build more build a better ecosystem around it and see if this is really working, because we are not very sure about it. Whatever tests we have done, that has given us good results, but we are trying to add different legs out here. And if this thing really works, we'll try to take it more ahead and build a good future around it. So that is our plan, and we're still on the beta testing mode and doing good till now. Let's see.
We like fingers crossed. everything goes well.
Right.
So, uh, in your opinion, what should be the ideal work and personal life like balance?
So ideal work and personal life is, I think work is for your personal life to be happy, right? If your work is actually hindering your personal life and you realize that you don't find peace back at home, I think that work is not to be done. You've got to find something else. So, and once you start maintaining your personal life in a better way, in a more broader sense, that you are at peace at home, your work will automatically take care of itself. That is what I believe till now, and has been working good for me. And my wife is also pretty okay with it. Okay, that's okay. Even though in that cases, probably you'll have to work on Saturdays and Sundays too. But then you'll also find a sweet spot that you'll have ample time to spend with your family also. So
Yes, when you're doing a job, you have like fixed working hours from
yes,
like 9 to 5. But when you're owning like something, any kind of a firm, so it must be like you have to
so
work at
that
any
is
point.
that is not the case, Ishika. So it's like, even if you're working somewhere or even if you're starting something, that balance has to come in both the things. So if you're working somewhere, you already know that okay, you've got to give 9 hours a day or 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day, and you don't have to spend extra 3 hours to get another promotion or something. That has to come within that the time span that is already decided. The rest you'll have to spend outside your work domain, doing spending time with family, because that actually that actually gives you time to come back to work the next day and actually start doing a more creative work. So it is not nothing related with startup or the job which one is doing.
Okay, so it's like a really good answer to what things I had in my mind. And also now we'll have some questions related to IIT ISM. So that might be like very close
That
to
is
your
the
heart
best
too.
part I would want to. Yes. Yeah.
So, like, would you like to describe to us about your time, like at ISM Dhanbad? What was it like?
So the time at ISM Dhanbad was very different from what I see people now have. We didn't had that much of workload or academics pressure at that point of time, and it was really fun out there. And all I could do was we were just living. We were not previous to ISM college and prior to college. We were I personally was always occupied in winning, like cracking IITs, excelling in my school, doing things, whatever I do. You have to excel. And the same happened once I left ISM. But when I was in ISM, I didn't care about it. It was like, okay, who cares? I just have to pass in all the exams and that's it. And everyone was doing something really good, really different. And you had much learning outside. The hostel part specifically, what I learned in classes was nowhere relevant what I find that I learned in those hostel days. So yeah, a very, very good time.
Yes, and like I pity myself. Like I haven't even seen my college once since I joined it.
That is something I pray that you come to college, because even once you leave out of your graduation, you go for your post grad or something, you'll always have something in at the back of your mind that you got to excel, you got to do something, you got to find your job. But that 4 years in graduation is really different. So you need to come to college.
So
It's
what is one thing you miss about college the most?
uh, what I miss about college is the fun part. Every day you had around 50 students and we just did something. So if it is raining, we went out with a football and started playing. You cannot do it now. You won't find 50 people doing the same thing. Yeah. So that is what I miss.
Okay, so like if you had to sum up your entire college life into a single word, what would it be?
That is the tough part. I would call it uh, sonnet or comfortably numb. Anything, that is how it was. more of a sonnet. Yeah.
So yes, it does perfectly define college life. So every one of us knows like the engineering assignments, they have been like the most hectic thing we have been doing in engineering, because there's a deadline to catch and we just finish like minutes before the deadline. So are you of the opinion that engineering assignments teach you management skills free of cost?
Definitely. Because I think that engineering actually teaches you everything. Management is also just a small part of it. You also learn many street skills. You also learn so many things. So engineering makes you a complete person out there. You're not just specified to your domain. You do everything, and most of the time you also end up learning psychology. You are also a philosopher. You do everything what you want. So engineering is really cool.
Yes, exactly. It does transform a student who has like the studious student who was like of the opinion of only cracking JEE to
Uh,
a very different person like in 4 years. So
exactly. So 4 years that actually makes you a man or a woman once you're out of college. You start as a boy or a girl. So that is the transformation.
yes, and like the last question, how do you want to promote the entrepreneurial mindset in the student community? Like,
So
what do you have to say?
we would want more interactions. One problem which we actually faced was, we needed many interns out there while we were starting Yellowbacks. Now, if you're a funded startup, that becomes really easy. But if you're a non-funded startup or you're running bootstrap, that is one problem. And these students, they have to come with a mindset that learning should be the first attitude, rather than looking for too many a very high good stipend while even in the second years or third years. Once if they open their horizon more towards a learning atmosphere rather than earning at that point of time, that way student team and the people in the entrepreneurship industry, they can interact more and share learnings, and that is how we can actually spread the word, spread learnings more into the student part. So we in the Yellowbacks team, we also have around 10 interns, 6 7 from the NIFTs, and we have two to three interns from ISM. We're paying them a minimal stipend. Definitely, we wouldn't want to exploit anyone, but whatever best we can do, we are doing. And things really turn bad when you spend a lot of time. You train those interns to actually do something more collaboratively, and then they get, okay, I got a PPO from Microsoft, I'm going for an internship out there. So you got to leave that if you really want to come into that entrepreneurship part.
The
So
entrepreneurship status in the country is it satisfactory, or is it poor, or is it good?
so
How?
we are into a very good time right now. So the way things are moving in India, it is really, we have a very bright future. If you see this funding in seed stages, it is comparable to whatever you are getting in the valley or outside India. So the future is really good. People from almost all the IITs, all the premium colleges are opting entrepreneurship as their first choices. Definitely some things have to come from the academics or the management part. If they could have deferred placements and that as a regular option, that will definitely help students pursue more entrepreneurship. And
Yes, and that for sure will help the country in a better way than doing a
yes,
job for like.
because we are the creators out there, and you'll create more jobs, which in turn helps the economy run, create things, and that is how it has to move.
And
So
also
definitely
you
bright future.
you become the owner of your own space, like you aren't
Yes,
working under
and
somebody
that
else.
is a very relieving feeling. You really find it good, but then that comes with your own cons. You have to learn by yourself. You really don't find people directly mentoring you in your industry, in your startup, until unless you have ample number of mentors out there. So that is one thing which is on which I would call a missing point in a startup. But then there are too many things to be learned from.
Yes, exactly. And it was like really fun talking to you, and it was very insightful. Like I got to learn a lot of new things and about broadening of my horizons, because there are a lot of things apart from the academics that need to be done. So yes, it
Yeah,
was really fun
was
interacting with you.
nice talking. I hope we'll have more students in this domain, and let's see. All the
Thank you,
very
sir.
best, guys.
Thank, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.